What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the deep dive this week, and I've got a special guest with us, our new district superintendent. She's not a new district superintendent.
That's right.
She's done this gig before, but she's new to us here in our district, Dr. Jessica Terrell. So we're getting to know Jessica. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, you ready to get started?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay. So, Jessica, I am so glad we're getting to do this because, I've known of you for a long time, but we just never have really ended up like on the same committee or in the same district. So I know a little about you. I know you served some great churches, Eatonton. Were you at Eatonton one time?
I was at Eatonton,
Yeah.
Bethesda and Lawrenceville,
Yeah.
Glenn
Yeah.
in Atlanta, and Covington first.
All right, so let's back up a little bit further than that.
Sure.
Where's home for you? Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in LaGrange, Georgia. It's actually I'm between LaGrange and Pine Mountain. I grew up on a farm that's
Okay.
been in my family since the 1820s. So rural.
Yeah.
Grew up in a rural area in a farm family. So, but that's home. LaGrange and Pine Mountain are home
Okay.
to me.
I know where
So,
both those places are.
Yeah, my parents are members at Pine Mountain First United Methodist
How
Church.
was it living that close to a time zone change? Was that ever confusing? 'Cause I know-
Sometimes, yes, it could be.
Yeah.
Especially when you would have to go to a party
Yeah,
that your friend might live just over the Alabama line.
Right.
And so then the time would change, and sometimes you might be like super early
Yeah.
to a party because of that time change.
so you grew up in that area and went to parties in Alabama.
I did.
And
Right
then
near the
and then
Alabama
at some point you went on to college, I'm sure. So
I did.
where'd
I
you
went
go?
to LaGrange College.
Yeah, great
Yes.
Methodist school.
Wonderful United Methodist school.
Yeah.
Actually, my parents went there, and
Okay.
that's how they met. My dad's from Jacksonville, Florida originally. My mom is the one that grew up in the Pine Mountain LaGrange area.
Yeah. And so then you went to Candler?
I did not.
Oh,
I
no.
know it's a shocker. Most people think that when you are in North Georgia, everyone goes to Candler.
Yeah.
But I actually went to Duke.
Okay, I'm not sure that we can be friends anymore. I'm just kidding. A lot of my great friends, a lot of our great pastors went to Duke. Very good.
Yes,
good.
I went to Duke, did
Awesome
my
there.
master's of divinity there. But I did get my doctorate of ministry at Candler.
At Candler, okay.
So I like to say I've had the best of both worlds.
Yeah, those are two great United Methodist
They
schools,
are.
and one of them is North Carolina.
All of my degrees are from United Methodist colleges
Yeah.
and universities and seminaries. So.
I wish that I had either gone on to LaGrange or immediately to Emory because of that, because I went to Young Harris.
Okay, yeah.
Then I finished my bachelor's at Georgia Southern, but everything else that I was at Drew in New Jersey and Candler, and so I would like to have that heritage as well. So good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
So
Really loved every school I've
So and so you became a district superintendent in what year? It's been a while.
Summer of 2019.
Okay.
So-
Oh gosh, what a horrible
like-
time to. Oh my gosh!
an interesting-
Right before the
It's been an
pandemic.
interesting 5 years. So now we're working on year 6.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
yeah, right before the pandemic.
Yeah.
About I think maybe 8 months before
Right,
the
yeah.
pandemic hit, I was a DS.
Okay.
And then the pandemic, and then through the years of the pandemic, and then into disaffiliation and
All of that, and so because of that, and
So
because we
been an
have
interesting
less,
season.
particularly in our area, in this outer suburbs kind of area, we had a lot of churches who left, unfortunately, sadly, and so we have less churches, and so you probably have the biggest geographical area. or
Yes,
just-
so in the new Northwest District,
Yeah.
we redistricted July 1st and became the new Northwest, and we cover over 6,000 square miles.
Yeah.
So I ended up having to get a new car last month.
Okay. Had to.
So,
Okay.
yes.
What'd you get?
I got a Toyota Highlander Hybrid,
Okay.
and I love it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes, so a huge fan, and I'm enjoying having a hybrid, and
Yeah.
it really helps because just this month alone, it's not even to the end of having it a month, I've already put right at 3,000 miles on
Yeah.
my new car. Just
Wow.
go into
Yeah, that would
all
not
the
be a good
district.
one to lease because you would get
No,
past those
you would
miles.
get past that very
You
fast.
get fast, yeah.
very fast as a district
Yeah, for
superintendent.
sure.
But I enjoy going around, seeing all the different pastors and churches and the communities. So it really is a lot of fun.
You have a lot of energy.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, is that just kind of natural for you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you ever get? Because every time I've seen you, you've always had energy, and you have such a responsible job in such a wide range, it just seems like it would get exhausting at times. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
I actually go to bed early.
Yeah.
And I'm an early riser. Now that doesn't mean that I am like social at an early time.
Area.
Like it takes a slow boil in the morning. But once like my calendar starts for the day,
Yeah.
with the first thing on it, I've already been up and going and ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, I go to bed pretty early.
Yeah.
I like my 8 hours.
So today was a really special day at Hickory Flat because we had Bishop Dees preach for us. And, you know, as I said, I think in the service, I didn't realize it had been that long. It was June 15th of 2023 that I put out the invitation. So she's a busy woman, and it was so
She's
awesome.
always on the go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So awesome to have her, and she had a great message. But
She's so personable.
she's so warm.
Yes.
She just, and I meant what I said. When I heard her, well, I had heard her preach before because I saw her at Oak Grove when she was consecrated. But I had not, when I saw her lead conference and her closing sermon that first year, I knew that I wanted to have her come to Hickory Flat because we all needed to experience her and just the confidence that she gives you and the warmth and safety. I mean, you feel like,
Yes.
you feel like it's going to be okay.
She deeply cares.
Yeah, she deeply cares.
She deeply cares about her churches, about her pastors,
Yeah.
about the United Methodist Church, and you feel that
Yeah.
whenever you're around her.
She is authentic.
She is extremely genuine.
Authentic, yeah.
Very genuine.
Really.
Kind-hearted. I was telling her the other day, I just said, you are so kind. And I enjoy and appreciate having people who are kind in my life.
We need
And
more kindness.
Yeah, we need more kindness.
Yeah.
And she is an incredibly kind bishop and
Yeah.
humble. She's really humble.
And so, you were invited, or you came as well, and then Josie Hickam, our district administrator.
Fabulous district admin.
Yeah, we're also in our service. But you guys were here. You might have come because the bishop was here, but you were here for another purpose, a very important purpose as well, and that was to lead us in our charge conference this afternoon after worship. So, for those who may be watching this and just, maybe they're new to the United Methodist Church or they've forgotten, tell us what Charge Conference is. Why do we do these every year?
So Charge Conference, for me, I think has a couple of different things that I think it's important to do when you call a Charge Conference. One, it's an official meeting of the church body to organize itself for the coming year of ministry. So there are business items that you have to attend to. You have to have somebody take the minutes so that can be a record of history in the church, of what occurred at the meeting. You elect your lay leadership for the year, those that will serve on committees and different positions to help move the church forward in its mission and ministries. You set the pastor's salary because transparency and leadership at every level, whether it's your committees or your pastors and staff, transparency is really important in the United Methodist Church. We're all a part of it, so we all need to know what's going on and to be aware so that we can engage and support the work of our local church. So you have sort of the business pieces. And then, I also believe that Charge Conference is a time for us to kind of look back and to say, here are the things that we have been able to do as a congregation this past year. These are the things we celebrate, that we rejoice that God has done among us, that God has done through us, and here is what we look forward to doing the next year together. These are our goals. So it's also a time of looking back, but also looking forward and saying, here's what we're hoping to accomplish together in the name of Jesus Christ for the next year. So it has a little bit of business, some celebration, and then this looking forward piece to it. And it's also just a great time to be reminded who we are as United Methodist. As I said in the Charge Conference here at Hickory Flat just a few moments ago, it's a great time for us to remember that as United Methodist, we don't ever have to do ministry alone. As a pastor, as a layperson, as a local congregation, we are part of a wider connection, a larger fellowship of churches and pastors and bishops and district superintendents and district teams who all work together to support one another's ministries to make sure that the kingdom of God draws ever more near in the places where we are. And it's good to know that you don't have to do it by yourself. You've got teammates who can help you, resource you, support you, encourage you, be there for you in whatever ways you need. And so there's that piece within a charge conference as well.
Yeah, that
Sort
should
of
be
a
written
team
down
celebration.
and posted somewhere. That was
Kind of like a team party.
that was very eloquently said, though. I mean, what a great summary. One of the things, or the maybe overarching theme that's in there is a word we don't like sometimes, but it's important, and that is accountability. And that's one of the things that I see in charge conference, also year-end reports. A lot of the things that we do that, like as local pastors, sometimes we don't particularly like.
No,
Yeah,
we don't like all the paperwork.
But
it is
it's important, and that's one thing that I feel like we could take confidence in our United Methodist tribe, is there is accountability on every level. There's accountability in the local church, to the district, to the conference, to the jurisdiction, to the general conference. We do this work together, but we also hold one another accountable in that.
Yeah.
And so,
And that's one thing I deeply appreciate as a United Methodist. I actually joined the United Methodist Church when I was in college. And I came from a denomination where it was a very select group of people who made decisions with the pastor and behind closed doors. You were kind of on that committee for life, and it was literally just a small group, and it was men only. And there wasn't a lot of transparency. There wasn't a lot of, accountability for the pastor or accountability for those in leadership. And so one of the reasons that I appreciate and am drawn to the United Methodist Church is because of that accountability system that we have, that transparency that we make sure and ensure that we have in our ministry with one another, and the fact that anyone can serve.
right.
And
And then we rotate, and
we
particularly
rotate leadership.
in those big positions. I'm guessing that was a congregational form of government.
it was a congregational.
Okay,
form
so
of government
for
that
those
was
of you
part
who
of
may
it, yeah.
come from a background where they have that, where the whole church may vote on something, and like those can work in healthy ways,
They
but
can.
that church has to have something that's making those points of accountability, because without that built into it, it's a different system.
It's a different system.
And if that system doesn't have the things that we have built into it, then it can devolve into, just a few people running the whole church for
Exactly.
years and years. And so
Exactly.
that's one of the things I love about the United Methodist
Me
Church.
too. I love our polity.
Is our structure.
Yeah.
That's baked in. And so, I love that part about it. So, well, I know you've got to go and do another charge conference, but I just want to say, and I've already said that, I'm just saying it publicly here, is that we want to get on your calendar early for next year.
I would love that.
We would love to have you back and preach for us and do another one of these podcasts. I know you're very busy this fall, and so we are going to have you back to preach and many other occasions here as well.
I would
Yeah.
love that. As I said, I
Yeah.
really appreciated your worship service
Yeah.
today. It was just incredible.
Yeah.
And,
Thank you so much, Jeff.
Appreciate the warmth and the welcome that you extended to us as your district office here today.
Yeah,
and
well,
to the bishop.
oh gosh, my
So-
pleasure, my pleasure.
And I look forward to preaching.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
Well,
be
we
fun.
look forward to hearing you as well, and so that'll be a special day.
It will be.
All right. Thank you, Jessica.
All right, thanks,
All right,
Dave.
and you guys,
Hickory
thank you.
Flat.
This has been, I think Nick will be back, and we'll be doing a normal one of these. It's been a few weeks since I think we've done a normal podcast, but if you, if you want to reach out to Jessica, you can probably go on our what's the district website?
So actually, if you go to ngumc.org, if you look at the top, it says districts,
Yeah.
and you just click the district, find Northwest, and there we are.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure she would, if you have any questions of her or want to learn some things, I'm sure you could reach out to her. And as always, you can reach out to Nick or me, maybe just like putting a comment in this, however you're watching this, or shoot us an email at deepdive@hickoryflat.org. So God bless you. See you next time. Bye-bye.
bye, friends.